My beloved child, before this message unfolds, I need you to do one thing. Stay here. Do not skip. Do not rush ahead. Because what is about to be revealed is connected directly to the title that brought you here today. Something huge is waiting for you, and every single moment of this message is leading toward a revelation that few people ever expect to hear. Last night, while the world seemed quiet and ordinary, a conversation was taking place. A table was prepared. 2 seats faced one another. Words were exchanged. Smiles appeared. Questions were asked. Answers were carefully given. And what makes this moment so surprising is not simply that your soulmate was there. It is who was sitting across from them. Do not skip. Because the details become more surprising as this message continues. For a long time, you may have wondered what is happening behind the scenes. You may have felt that something was shifting. Maybe certain emotions appeared without explanation. Maybe your intuition whispered that events were moving in a direction you could not yet see. Maybe there were moments when your heart felt strangely aware that a chapter was quietly unfolding somewhere beyond your sight. What if those feelings were not random? What if they were connected to a conversation that happened last night? Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate has been thinking deeply about the future. Not a temporary future. Not a passing thought. A real future. The kind of future that causes someone to pause and ask meaningful questions. The kind of future that makes someone reflect on the people who matter most. And during this dinner date, your name, your energy, your presence, became impossible to ignore. Now listen carefully. This was not a moment of coincidence. This was not a meaningless gathering. The person sitting across from your soulmate carried information. They carried memories. They carried a connection that reaches much closer to your life than you realize. And that is why this story becomes unforgettable. Do not skip. Many people leave too early and miss the most important part. Because the truth is that your soulmate entered that conversation expecting one thing, but by the end of the night, they left with something completely different. At first, the discussion seemed ordinary. Questions about life. Questions about goals. Questions about the future. Nothing unusual. Nothing dramatic. Yet little by little, the focus began to change. The conversation drifted. The topic shifted. And suddenly, your soulmate found themselves speaking about someone they could not stop thinking about. You. Without planning it. Without forcing it. Without realizing how much space you already occupied in their heart. The person sitting across from them noticed immediately. The way your soulmate spoke. The way their eyes brightened. The way their voice changed. The way their attention became completely focused. And that person quietly understood something important. There was someone special on your soulmate's mind. Stay till the end. Because what happened next changed everything. As the evening continued, more details surfaced. Stories were shared. Memories were exchanged. Thoughts that had been hidden for a long time suddenly found their way into the open. And then came a moment of silence. A brief pause. A pause that carried more meaning than words. Because in that silence, a realization arrived. The person sitting across from your soulmate knew exactly who they were talking about. Think about that for a moment. Do not skip. The title of this message is becoming real now. The person across the table was not a stranger to your story. They were not disconnected from your world. They were someone familiar. Someone connected. Someone who already knew things about you. And when that realization settled into the room, the entire energy of the conversation changed. Questions became deeper. Curiosity became stronger. Interest became impossible to hide. Your soulmate wanted to know more. More about your character. More about your dreams. More about your heart. More about the person you truly are beneath the surface. What began as a simple dinner suddenly transformed into something much bigger. Something meaningful. Something memorable. And the shocking part is that neither person expected it to happen. Yet there they were. Discussing you. Reflecting on you. Trying to understand why your presence had become so significant. Stay here. Do not skip. Because the next revelation is where this story truly begins. As the evening moved forward, your soulmate heard something that caught them completely off guard. A perspective. An observation. A description of you that they had never considered before. The person across the table described qualities that made your soulmate stop and think. Qualities that revealed just how unique you are. Qualities that highlighted strengths you may not even recognize in yourself. And with every word spoken, admiration grew. Respect grew. Curiosity grew. The feeling became impossible to ignore. Your soulmate realized that the image they carried of you was only part of the story. There was more. Much more. Layers they had not yet discovered. Depth they had not yet explored. Potential they had not yet fully understood. And suddenly, the future looked different. The possibilities looked different. The path ahead looked different. Something huge is waiting for you. Stay till the end. Because the biggest revelation has not happened yet. Near the end of the dinner, something unexpected occurred. The conversation shifted one final time. Not toward the past. Not toward random topics. But toward possibilities. The kind of possibilities that make people imagine what could happen next. The kind of possibilities that cause hearts to pay attention. The kind of possibilities that remain in someone's thoughts long after the night is over. Your soulmate listened carefully. Every word mattered. Every detail mattered. Every insight mattered. Because by this point, one truth had become impossible to deny. You were not just another person in the story. You were becoming the center of it. And as the evening came to a close, your soulmate walked away carrying something they did not have when the night began. Clarity. A deeper curiosity. A stronger interest. And a feeling that this connection is far more important than they once believed. Do not skip the next part. Because in part 2, the identity of the person sitting across from your soulmate becomes clearer, the conversation grows even more surprising, and the revelation they shared about you changes the entire direction of the story. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. A remarkable detail is about to come into focus, and this is where the story takes a turn nobody expected. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As your soulmate left that dinner table, one thought remained stronger than every other thought in their mind. It was not about the restaurant. It was not about the food. It was not about the evening itself. It was about you. The person sitting across from them had unknowingly opened a door. A door to understanding. A door to clarity. A door to a realization that had been quietly waiting for the perfect moment to arrive. And what makes this so surprising is that the person they were speaking with was not disconnected from your life. No. This was someone who already knew pieces of your story. Someone who had seen qualities in you that your soulmate was only beginning to discover. Someone who carried insights that could not be found through ordinary conversations. Do not skip. Because the next few moments reveal why this dinner became unforgettable. As the discussion continued, your soulmate became more attentive than ever before. Every sentence mattered. Every observation mattered. They listened carefully because they sensed that something important was unfolding. The person across the table began describing moments connected to you. Small moments. Simple moments. Yet moments that revealed something extraordinary. They spoke about your kindness when nobody was watching. They spoke about your strength during difficult seasons. They spoke about your ability to keep moving forward even when challenges appeared. And with every new detail, your soulmate became more fascinated. Something huge is waiting for you. Stay till the end. Because this was no longer an ordinary conversation. It had become a discovery. A discovery that revealed parts of your character that could not be ignored. For the first time, your soulmate began seeing a larger picture. A picture that showed how much value you carry. A picture that showed how much impact you have on people around you. A picture that showed why your presence continues to leave a lasting impression wherever you go. The more they listened, the more they realized something surprising. Many of the qualities they admired most were already visible to others. The person at the dinner table recognized them. People around you recognized them. And now your soulmate was beginning to recognize them too. Do not skip. Because the most unexpected part is still ahead. There came a moment when the conversation slowed down. A quiet moment. A thoughtful moment. The kind of moment where people stop speaking and simply reflect. And during that pause, your soulmate asked a question. A question they had not planned to ask. A question that came directly from the heart. They wanted to know what made you so memorable. Why people continued speaking positively about you. Why your name carried such warmth whenever it entered a conversation. The answer they received stayed with them long after the dinner ended. The person across the table smiled. Then they explained something simple but powerful. They said that some people enter a room and are quickly forgotten. But other people leave an impression that remains long after they are gone. And according to them, you belong to the second group. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Those words hit differently. Your soulmate felt them immediately. Because deep inside, they already suspected the same thing. They already felt that there was something special about you. Something difficult to explain. Something impossible to replace. Something that continued drawing their attention back toward you again and again. The conversation became even deeper. Questions became more personal. Thoughts became more meaningful. The evening transformed into something neither person expected. And then another revelation appeared. The person sitting across from your soulmate shared a memory. Not a dramatic memory. Not an unbelievable story. Just a simple memory connected to you. Yet that memory revealed something remarkable. It revealed your authenticity. It revealed your heart. It revealed the way you treat people. And for your soulmate, hearing that story changed everything. Because it confirmed something they had been wondering for a long time. The person they were interested in was exactly who they appeared to be. Genuine. Real. Unique. Memorable. Do not skip. The biggest surprise is still coming. As the evening approached its final chapter, the discussion shifted once again. This time the focus was no longer on the past. It was focused on the future. And that future included you. The person across the table asked a question that immediately captured your soulmate's attention. A simple question. Yet a powerful one. What happens if this connection becomes something bigger? The moment those words were spoken, everything changed. Your soulmate did not answer immediately. They paused. They reflected. They thought carefully. Because suddenly they were imagining possibilities they had not allowed themselves to fully explore before. Possibilities involving conversations. Possibilities involving deeper understanding. Possibilities involving meaningful connections. Possibilities involving a future that looked brighter than expected. Something huge is waiting for you. Stay till the end. Because what happened next became the highlight of the entire evening. Your soulmate admitted something. Not loudly. Not dramatically. But honestly. They admitted that thoughts about you had been appearing more often. They admitted that curiosity about you continued growing. They admitted that every new thing they learned seemed to increase their interest rather than reduce it. And when those words were spoken, the person across the table was not surprised. In fact, they seemed to expect that answer. That reaction alone told your soulmate something important. The connection they were feeling was visible. Others could see it too. Do not skip. Because the title of this message is becoming even more powerful now. The shocking part was never simply that your soulmate was on a dinner date. The shocking part was what they discovered during that dinner. The shocking part was how often your name entered the conversation. The shocking part was how many positive things were shared. The shocking part was how strongly their attention returned to you again and again. And by the time the evening ended, one thing had become impossible to deny. You mattered more than they expected. Much more. As they walked away from the restaurant, their thoughts were no longer scattered. They were focused. Focused on the stories they heard. Focused on the qualities they discovered. Focused on the possibilities they imagined. Focused on you. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next part reveals the one statement spoken during that dinner that completely changed your soulmate's perspective and made them see this connection in a way they never had before. And when that statement is finally revealed, the entire story reaches a new level. A single sentence changed the entire atmosphere of that dinner, and what happened next is the reason you must stay here until the very last word. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The evening had already become more meaningful than anyone expected. Stories had been shared. Thoughts had been exchanged. Your name had appeared again and again throughout the conversation. Yet neither person at the table realized that the most important moment was still ahead. As the discussion continued, the person sitting across from your soulmate leaned forward slightly and spoke a sentence that immediately captured their attention. It was not loud. It was not dramatic. But it carried a weight that could not be ignored. They said, the more people learn about this person, the more they appreciate them. The moment those words were spoken, everything seemed to pause. Your soulmate became silent. Not because they disagreed. Not because they were surprised by the compliment. But because deep down, they already knew it was true. Do not skip. Because this is where the story becomes even more powerful. For a long time, your soulmate had been collecting small pieces of information about you. Small observations. Small moments. Small impressions. Each one seemed ordinary on its own. Yet when combined together, they formed a picture that was becoming impossible to ignore. A picture of someone who stands out. A picture of someone whose presence creates a lasting impression. A picture of someone whose value becomes more visible with time. And during that dinner, those pieces finally started connecting together. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The conversation moved forward, but your soulmate's thoughts remained fixed on that one statement. The more people learn about this person, the more they appreciate them. Again and again, those words echoed in their mind. Because suddenly they realized something important. Every new thing they discovered about you had increased their admiration. Nothing had reduced it. Nothing had weakened it. Nothing had changed it. Instead, every new detail seemed to strengthen their interest even more. That realization felt significant. It felt meaningful. It felt impossible to dismiss. And the person sitting across from them noticed immediately. They could see the reflection in your soulmate's eyes. They could see the thoughts forming. They could see the realization taking shape. Do not skip. Because what happened next became one of the most surprising moments of the entire evening. The person across the table shared another observation. An observation that instantly changed the direction of the conversation. They said that some connections arrive loudly. Others arrive quietly. The loud connections often attract attention quickly. But the quiet connections are usually the ones that last. Your soulmate listened carefully. Because those words felt personal. They felt relevant. They felt connected to everything that had been unfolding throughout the evening. And suddenly another realization appeared. What they felt about you was not something temporary. It was growing steadily. Growing naturally. Growing stronger with time. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As the evening continued, the discussion turned toward memories. Not random memories. Specific memories. Moments connected to you. Moments that revealed patterns. Moments that highlighted qualities people consistently noticed. And something remarkable happened. Every memory carried a similar theme. Respect. Admiration. Trust. Authenticity. Kindness. Strength. The more examples that appeared, the clearer the picture became. And your soulmate could not stop listening. They wanted to hear every detail. Every story. Every perspective. Every observation. Because each one seemed to answer questions they had been carrying for a long time. Do not skip. The biggest revelation is getting closer. At one point, the person across the table smiled and asked your soulmate something unexpected. They asked, "What is it about this person that keeps bringing them back into your thoughts?" The question caught them off guard. Not because they lacked an answer, but because the answer suddenly felt obvious. For a moment, they reflected quietly. Then they admitted something. They admitted that you felt different. Not in a dramatic way. Not in an unrealistic way. But in a genuine way. There was something about your energy. Something about your presence. Something about your character. Something that stayed in their mind long after conversations ended. Long after distractions appeared. Long after ordinary moments passed. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The person across the table nodded as if they already expected that answer. And then they shared one final observation. An observation that became the defining moment of the dinner. They said that truly meaningful connections are rarely built on excitement alone. They are built on understanding, trust, respect, consistency. And every story they had shared about you pointed toward those exact qualities. The room became quiet again. Not uncomfortable quiet. Meaningful quiet. The kind of silence that happens when something important has finally been understood. Your soulmate sat there thinking. Thinking about every story they heard. Thinking about every quality that had been described. Thinking about every reason your name continued appearing throughout the evening. And little by little, a new perspective began forming. A perspective that made this entire dinner feel significant. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because as the evening approached its conclusion, one final question appeared. A question that nobody expected at the beginning of the night. The person across the table asked, "Do you think this connection is meant to become more important in your life?" The question lingered. The answer did not arrive immediately. Your soulmate took their time. They reflected carefully. They replayed the entire evening in their mind. The stories. The observations. The compliments. The memories. The insights. Everything pointed toward the same conclusion. You were not becoming less important. You were becoming more important. And that realization changed everything. Do not skip. Because the story is reaching a turning point. By the time the dinner ended, your soulmate walked away carrying something they did not have before. Certainty. Not certainty about every detail of the future. Not certainty about every outcome. But certainty that you mattered. Certainty that the connection deserved attention. Certainty that the growing curiosity they felt was not random. And certainty that the evening had revealed something they could no longer ignore. As they stepped away from that restaurant, one thing became clear. The dinner was supposed to be about one conversation. Yet somehow, it became a conversation about you. Your qualities. Your character. Your impact. Your future possibilities. And that unexpected shift is exactly why the night remained unforgettable. Do not skip the next part. Because in part 4, the final revelation from that dinner is uncovered, and the unexpected truth about the person sitting across from your soulmate becomes clearer than ever before. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you.